Today we will show the video of mysterious Ellora, which will be the second day's destination. But this day we will show not only Ellora but also a Jyotirlinga, one of the 12 Jyotirlingas of Lord Shiva, the Krishneshwar Mahadev Temple, the invulnerable Daulatabad Fort, and the tomb of the great Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. As I mentioned earlier, Ajanta is closed on Monday, and similarly Ellora is closed to tourists on Tuesday. The distance from Aurangabad to Ellora is 31.5 kilometers. The one-way fare on a government bus from Aurangabad to Ellora will be 300 rupees. If you choose to travel by private car, you can plan your itinerary as you like. The fare for a round trip by private car will be around 3000 rupees. Your hotel can arrange the car for you. On this day, we should not only visit Ellora, but also the Krishneshwar Shiva temple located about 1 kilometer from Ellora. Photography is prohibited in this ancient temple, which houses one of Lord Shiva's 12 Jyotirlingas. Men can enter the holy chamber and touch the lingam, but women are not allowed to touch the Jyotirlinga. There are long queues on holidays, but the process is orderly. You can exit the temple peacefully after darshan. After visiting Krishneshwar Jyotirlinga, return to Ellora and purchase a ticket for Rs 40 for Indians and Rs 600 for foreigners to enter. Ellora is much larger than Ajanta, with a vast expanse. Its main attraction is cave number 16, the mysterious Kailash Temple. You might find yourself returning to Ellora again and again just to see this temple. The question arises as to why this temple is not recognized as one of the 7 wonders of the world. The construction method of this temple is known as the monolithic technique, meaning the temple was carved out of a single stone. The most mysterious aspect is that the temple was carved from the top down. The design of the stone statues on both sides is so symmetrical that it looks as if one side was mirrored to create the other. However, both statues were created by skilled artisans with chisels and hammers. There are no other architectural works like these anywhere in the world. This temple was built during the reign of the Rashtrakuta king Krishnaraya, who ruled for only 18 years. However, it's believed that the temple was not completed during his reign. According to local guides, it took over 100 years to build this temple. Although even 100 years is considered insufficient for such an enormous undertaking. That's why the Kailash Temple is considered an unsolved mystery. Even today, extensive research is being conducted in India and abroad about this temple. Some even believe that it's impossible for humans to have created it. As I mentioned earlier, Ellora's expanse is vast, encompassing the convergence of 3 religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. There are a total of 17 Hindu, 12 Buddhist, and 5 Jain caves. However, the heart of Ellora is the Kailash Temple. It is believed that these caves were built between 600 BC and 1000 AD. Ellora's heart can be said to be the mysterious Kailash Temple, which houses a massive granite Shiva Lingam in its main chamber. This hall is supported by 16 beautiful carved pillars. If you observe carefully in this almost dark hall, you will notice hanging stone sculptures on the ceiling too. It is not possible to see all the caves of Ellora in one day. There are even battery-powered vehicles available to visit the Jain caves with a fare of Rs 50 per person, but there are often queues for that too. Generally, tourists are fascinated by a few selected caves such as Dasavatar Cave, Kailash Temple, and some Buddhist caves. After exploring these, visitors often rest under the trees before heading to their next destination, Daulatabad. Yes, the next destination is the famous Daulatabad Fort. However, on the way to Daulatabad from Ellora, you can visit the Hanuman Temple and the tomb of the mighty Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb in Khultabad. You may be surprised to see Aurangzeb's tombs. It's hard to believe that this simple grave belonged to the great king of Hindustan. There is no grand Mughal architecture, no intricate craftsmanship, just a simple earthen grave open to the sky above. Even the marble wall surrounding the tomb was added much later. From Kultabad, now come to Daulatabad Fort, a fortress that no one has ever been able to capture through battle. This fort could never be conquered except by secret enmity and treachery. Even Aurangzeb could not attack and take possession of the fort. Instead, he besieged it for a long time to gain control of Daulatabad. This is also where Tana Shah and Chhatrapati Sambhaji were imprisoned. The fort is situated on a cone-shaped hill and spans an area of 94 hectares. The defense system of the fort consists of multiple layers, one built after the other. The entrance were strategically constructed, making it nearly impossible to break through the massive doors. If enemy soldiers manage to penetrate the outer defenses, they will end up fighting amongst themselves, confused by the fort's maze-like layout. At the end of this labyrinth lies a deep moat filled with crocodiles. The only bridge across the moat at that time was made of leather, and when the enemy approached, the leather bridge was cut off. The earlier name of Daulatabad was Devgiri, and for a brief period it even served as the capital of Hindustan during the reign of Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq. However, the capital was eventually moved back to Delhi. That fort closed at 6 p.m. So after visiting Daulatabad, you should return to Aurangabad. On your way back, you can visit Bibi Ka Maqbara. This monument was built by Emperor Aurangzeb's son Azam Shah in memory of his mother Rabiaul Durrani. It was modeled after the Taj Mahal, although it is far smaller and less magnificent. It is open from 8 am to 8 pm and the entry ticket cost 25 rupees. And this episode here today. In the next episode, we will move to the Shani Signapur and Sai Baba temple in Sirdi.